Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to RV Daydream, where you're going to find reviews of quite a few different electrical transportation devices. Most of the time we're doing e-bikes. We have done scooters in the past, and this is our latest that has come in from Hiboy S2 Pro. This is a scooter that is probably going to be a entry level, something that you guys aren't necessarily wanting to drop $1,000 on. So they've come out with something that's a little bit more affordable and can definitely get you into the scooter game.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
Whenever we were on the road full time in our RV for the last 3 years, I'm not sure when you're watching this video, we had a need for transporting ourselves to the grocery store, to explore the area, to run errands. And a lot of these parks that we were going to, they were great, except when you're in the city or when you're in the outskirts of the city, it's a little bit long just to walk to the location that you want to go get your groceries and such from. You need to drive there. Well, most of us, like in our case, we had a travel trailer initially, then we had a fifth wheel, and we had an F350 crew cab long bed. A lot of people have like dualies that are crew cabs. Those vehicles, when you get into certain cities, I mean, they're tight. They're tough to navigate around. They're not made to be a daily driver or a grocery getter. They're made to haul the RV. You see, we got sidewalks all over behind us, and we could get to the store and we could go and run errands using the sidewalks or the streets with electric bikes and scooters. So that's why we started this initially, was to talk about the ways you could get around when you're RVing. But now that we're in a home situation, you can see those means of transportation are just as practical. So this is the packaging that it comes in, not very big. We're going to open up, let you see what it looks like inside as far as packaging, so you know what you're getting into as far as shipping. And the weight and assembly is nothing. It really is. Once you open the box, this is what it's going to look like inside. You can see the handlebars need to be attached to the stem. Again, not a big deal. Other than that, you're pretty much done. Be cautious whenever you take this out of the packaging, not to throw away the styrofoam right away, for a couple of reasons. Even though these companies do a really good job of putting their stuff together, there's going to be times that there might be a need for a return and exchange. And of course, you're going to need that box to do that. But more importantly than all of that is this stuff here. This here. It was actually hidden in one of the styrofoam pieces. I just thought that was a solid piece of styrofoam. And I was getting ready to toss it. And then I realized that I didn't have the pieces needed to finish the assembly. And what pieces come in there? Well, your battery charger, of course, that's just a brick. And then you have your Allen wrenches and screws. Now you're going to see there's more Allen wrenches than are actually needed for just the handlebar assembly, and that's so you could go over and just check all the bolts, just make sure that they're all tight. Again, this is something that any mechanic would do in the first place, just to ensure that it was put together correctly. So you not being a mechanic or not necessarily a handy person putting it together, just know that you need to look at all the screws and just make sure that they're snugged up, that there's none coming out and none that are loose at hand. So let's go ahead and again put this stock on here. Looks like they gave me a couple extra screws, which is really nice. One thing that I would recommend is make sure that the screws have some sort of a Loctite on them, which in this case they do. There's other scooter manufacturers that don't do that, so Hiboy, good for you. Now, just to make it clear, this is the Hiboy S2 Pro. They make quite a few different ones, but this is the S2 Pro. The other thing that's really nice on this one, you can actually get a seat for it. You can actually get and order a seat. Some people like that, some people don't. Okay, all assembled, pretty straightforward once you have the screws in for the handlebars. Again, snug them up, make sure that they're pretty tight. You're going to do some adjustments for yourself. You want to maybe adjust the brake lever, possibly for a different angle. I don't have a problem with that. The brake lever is interesting, but I think that the main thing on this that I love, I didn't have to check the inflation on the tires because these are tubeless tires. These are a flat-free tire. It's kind of a unique look whenever you get up close to them. You're going to see that they have basically perforated spots in them to help with relief, give you some sidewall flex. Makes it a little bit smoother ride. The way they can get away with that is rear suspension. For an entry-level scooter to have rear suspension, and I don't know if you also seen that, but it also has side lighting that goes down the sides. That's really nice. Not only does it have, you know, a light back here, but it does have a brake light that flashes. And then, of course, the built-in headlight. I still even have the packaging on there, and you can see that light is relatively bright for a somewhat cloudy day. The scooter is a standard height scooter. I'll have to say that the stem seems slightly higher than what I've had on some of the more well-known scooters that have been out there for years. The thing that I'm not accustomed to, which doesn't look like it would be a problem, the exposed cables. You know, normally these cables are all hidden away in the frame. I don't think I have a problem with that. That's actually okay for me. You know, on bicycles, all the cables are exposed, you know, up top here, and then the way they go down to the frame. That's not a big deal. It's not a problem, so I don't see why it'd be a problem with this. Nice, good size rear disc in the back. And then, of course, the front hub motor. You're looking at a 500 watt motor. However, it is at 36 volts. It isn't a 48 volt. It is a 36 volt battery that's on this system. It's about 11 point, I think, 6 amp hour battery. They're saying that your range is probably going to be in the 25-mile range. So this does have a weight limit of 220 pounds. I'm over that, and I'm going to tell you why that you can get away with being a little bit heavier. Don't take my word for it, though. Follow the recommendations. I'm going to tell you that I can ride this as long as I'm not going over any bumps, and that's the best way to describe it. Big cracks in sidewalks, off of curbs, stuff like that. I've had scooters in the past that are rated for my weight, and they are set up to where you can jump it off of speed bumps. You can do all kinds of stuff. And what happens is on heavier riders, you'll actually get a frame to crack in the front. But the fact this has a rear suspension, I'll just stand to the rear a little bit more, and I will be able to ride this for just demonstration purposes. Now Heidi, she rides these, and obviously she's well underneath that weight. So getting back to the range, that range with me on it obviously isn't going to be as good as the range when Heidi's on it. And achieving the numbers that they're talking about, there's so many different variables. So this is what I say for scooters that are similar to this with this battery size. I would expect that you could go 6 miles and then come back, and I would feel comfortable with that, and that's on a full charge. Now if you see here, again, I didn't even pull the packaging off this yet, you're only looking at 3 bars. Now there's other things that you can do to actually make a difference also, and that is the settings. All right, so checking into the manual here, you can see the different button functions that are on here. Pretty basic, very easy. They do have an app. You can go into the app and make changes there, and you can monitor the scooter a little bit easier. It all depends what you want to do. You know, there's more functions available through the app. On the power button functions, you can see short press to turn on, long press to turn off. If you quick click the power button twice, that will switch the speed mode. And if you press 3 times, that will enable or turn off the cruise control. So you have a green S, that's for energy savings mode. Like they say, smooth acceleration, suitable for beginners. And the red S is sport mode. As far as powerful, skilled riders, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more quick doing that. So let's see what this app looks like. I'm kind of curious because they say there's more modes in there too, or I'm sorry, they say there's more functions to be had through that. So let's try it out. So looking at this app, you can see that it's pretty well put together. All the functions that I just talked about can be obviously done at the controls without having the app open. But once you have the app open, you have the same access to all of those things and then some. So you can see that the Bluetooth is connected currently. You can see the details of the scooter. You can see the motor temperature, the controller temperature, the voltage, and then the battery. We're about half of what the battery should be at. You've got the ability to turn on or off the sport mode. And when you turn it on or off, either at the stock or using the app here, you'll get a confirmation beep. Going to be the slow. That's going to be the one that will save you the most energy and get you to go the furthest, but you will be going slow in doing so. The unlocked feature. Unlocked is basically if we want to lock up the scooter and it's in a parking mode, when you go to roll the scooter away, front brake locks up and it actually tries to go in reverse. It no matter which way you try to roll it, and it beeps. I don't know if you can hear the beeping. Whenever I'm trying to move this scooter off screen, you could see on the mile per hour here that it was trying to do a locking function. So somebody just don't get on and try to ride it, you know, because a lot of these scooters, like in the area even, we have bird rentals. And people don't know, you know, you may have this thing sitting outside at a restaurant. Maybe you run into the store real quick, and I obviously tell you to lock it up to keep it safe. But somebody may come along and try to ride it. So you definitely want to lock it and make sure that doesn't happen. I love the fact that they're doing these apps more. That's something they didn't do in the past with the introductory ones. Now, I keep on calling it an introductory scooter, and it's just because the price is so low. So the link is going to be in the description down below for this, which has already popped up on the screen a few times. Definitely take a look at what's being offered there for you, because I'm sure there's a discount code and a special link. So what's your thoughts on it?
It's nice.
Yeah, this is
I
like
like the brake.
Yeah, the fact that they have regenerative braking and regular braking on there's pretty nice. Try the bell out. Just
I
a
did
click.
not.
It's a click.
Where's
Pull
at?
it. It's a
Oh,
yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
And go ahead and fold it down. See if you can lift it yourself.
Do I have to
Yeah, just
release anything?
yeah.
Just this.
Yep.
Okay. So far, so good. Seen the hook somewhere right here, but I don't know where it goes.
Okay, now can you carry it? We'll see how you.
Here. I 2 hands.
Okay.
You know, I got this gimpy arm, so
Yeah,
it's not bad.
this isn't bad at all. So the links are going to be down in the description for this. Again, you're going to get a discounted code for our subscribers. Heidi will show you what it's like to latch it back up.
That was very easy.
Yeah.
It's not complicated. You think it's complicated, you just move it over and it comes unlatched. Then this is real easy to latch back up.
But yeah, this is pretty decent considering the price point. I mean, that's the hardest thing. Most of these scooters, you're talking $800, $900. that look very similar to this, but this one you're only at less than $500. So Heidi will close this out.
As always, we hope to see you out there. Bye.
Bye.